What's up, guys? Today we're playing Epic 7, and today we're challenging Abyss level 103. I love this picture of Ran here. This is exactly what I look like chasing 102. That was a horrible level. Luckily, 103 not nearly as hard. This one took me about 3 tries, and I didn't have to build anyone new, so I'm really thankful for that. I think that you're going to find it somewhat of a learning curve, but we're going to get past it together. Let's go in and check out our team stats. Our first hero is Curious. This is the same hero that we've used for 101, 102, and now 103. This is the last time we're going to use her. You see, I have 184% effectiveness here. This is actually too much effectiveness for this fight, but you needed that much if you were going to use poisons against Celine. And so I just kept her on the same gear and haven't changed it out. Really, what we want to do is we want to go from the S number 3 into the S number 1 combo on Dingo and try and burn him down. You see, mine is in Grace of Growth. I don't want to spend too much resources on her because I don't think we're going to utilize her after 103. So keep this in mind. Take your Kiras, make her SSS, put her in Grace of Growth, slap some gear on her, and I think that she's going to work out just fine. Next up, we have Fire Tenebria. As you can see, mine is only level 50, but she is near perfect for this fight, really. She has a defense break and a sleep on her S number 3, which is going to be very crucial for controlling the ads so that they don't get their S3s off and trigger those dual attacks. We also see that she has a restrict and a speed down and a combat readiness decrease on her S number 2, which is also helpful for controlling the ads, but especially important on the first wave. You need to be able to land all those debuffs, so you want to have some effectiveness on her. I did it with 79. I think 65 is the minimum that you can have here. And because mine's level 50, then I put Proof of Valor. If you have some other artifacts that would help her either to cycle her skills faster or to land more debuffs, and I think those will be helpful, but I don't have those kind of artifacts quite yet. Next up, we have Landy. She's on a general damage build. You can see some of the stats that I have for her. This is random gear that I had crafted, which works out pretty well. I think that she's too fast. She's definitely too fast to use in expeditions, but for this, she works really well. Any hero that you have that has good AoE ability to help you kill all the mice ads on the first wave at one time, I think is going to be good. You could use something like a Vivian. You can use something like an Arbiter Vildred, I think will work too. Mercedes would work because she gets a bonus versus the Earth heroes. But I decided to use Landy, and she worked out pretty well. She does bring the buffs on her S number 3, which doesn't make it ideal for the Dingo phase, so you're sort of limited to just S1ing. Some of these other heroes, like this one here, Mercedes, also has a attack buff on her S number 3, so not a great hero to use here. Any AoE hero, I think, will work. Then lastly, we're coming up to Magic Scholar Doris. Now she's just a hero I threw in. I utilized this build on all free HP set to tank out A-Ravis and things like Guild War, right? So she's made to be tanky and she is made to be slower, but she does get some combat readiness boost off of her Water's Origin. Ideally, I think I'd like to get her to at least 120 effect resist. That would be ideal. Now, the reason I brought her is one, she heals, but two, she has a 50% combat readiness here, and I thought that would help me cycle Curus a little bit faster for the poisons. It really didn't, though. It really didn't. So I think any hero that you have that doesn't drop too many buffs for the Sid to steal and to get the extra damage off Dingo, I think works really well. If you can have someone who can cycle your heroes, or you have someone that just keeps your heroes alive and allows you to lay down those poisons, and I think that you're going to be pretty set. Here we go, Abyss level 103. This video is not sped up at all. The whole fight takes about 6 minutes. The very first wave is very annoying though, and you're going to spend most of your time fighting on the first wave rather than fighting the boss himself. All these mighty scouts, when they do their S number 3, if there are any blank spaces on their side, then they're going to summon an additional ad with full HP, and it just keeps going on forever, which can take a long time. You want to hit them with AoE abilities, because every time you hit a single target attack, they're going to increase the combat readiness of every mouse except for the one that you hit. So Tenebria is really good here because she brings in
Oh
sleep,
my,
she brings in
how
stun
cute
if you
does
have
it
Abyssal
get?
Crown, which I
On the
don't.
other
She
side,
also brings
tear.
in a pushback, a slow, and that
Let me show you the
restrict,
results of my
which is really
research.
good because if all the mice have restrict, they don't cycle near as fast and it gives you more time to kill them without pressuring your healer to keep you alive. So what we're doing here is we're damaging the main mouse with poisons to bring him down because he has much more health than the rest of the
Immature.
mice. Other than that, it's just attacking, trying to keep all their HPs relatively the same and doing AoE abilities.
Why not surrender?
Again, any hero with AoE abilities will work. I brought in Landy because that's who I have built. She's not amazing for this fight
I'm a
because she
bit
doesn't really do
sleepy.
anything on
Can I
the Dingo
interact?
phase. And when Dingo switches to his Fire
I
Elemental,
study so
she
that I can
often
help
misses. So
others.
if you can bring someone who is going to be, a, I think that you want a light
You
or
may
a
try
dark
to
unit
defy me.
or
Me?
maybe even a fire unit. Fire
Find a
heroes will
way.
do the best because we have light on this stage,
I'm
earth on
ready.
this stage, we have light on the next stage, along with earth and fire as well. So keep that in mind as you're building your team. AoE abilities, but try and keep them in
Leave it
light,
to me.
dark, and also in the fire elements.
Oh my, how cute. Now, it's time to go to sleep. I sense new magic nearby. With the fruits of my studies, I will protect everyone.
Why not surrender? Let me show you my secret weapon. Respect the great land!
Here we go with our Dingo fight. We're going
I'm
to
a
do
bit
almost all of our
sleepy,
damage
but I
on
can
this first
think. I'll
phase.
take
So
care
you
of this.
want to use your Curious
I'm
S
ready.
number 3 into an S number 1 combo, and
For
hopefully you
information.
land 3 poisons here. Then we're just going to be doing damage
Immature.
onto this Blaze Dingo until he either gets an ultimate ability or he gets down to 30%. Once he has an ultimate ability or 30%, he's going to transform into his
From no one
Fire
to ever
Dingo
have.
form, which is very important
I'm at the
because he's
studio.
going to cleanse all of those
I'm a bit
debuffs,
sleepy,
and
but I
also
can
he's going
hide.
to be getting a invincibility.
You may
So we
try
want to
to
do
defy
as
me.
much as we can. That
Me?
way we can finish him off fairly
I want
easily
to
here.
torment you.
Sid will
I'm
always
ready.
attack the hero that has a buff. He steals that
Not
buff
fully sure.
and then
Prove
takes
it.
another turn. So
I'll
try
take
not
it.
to buff your heroes at all.
Let me show you the results of my
Also, if your heroes
research.
have a buff when Dingo attacks,
Oh
then he's going to get
my,
an
how
extra
cute.
attack,
A
which does
nightmare.
a lot of damage and puts a lot of
Especially
pressure
for
on you.
you.
My first 2 tries, I wiped because Dingo is just doing too much damage
Leave
for
it to
me.
me.
So that's why we're not using the Landy S3 here.
I'm a bit sleepy. This might be the
Okay, here's our
last
second
one.
Curious,
I'm ready.
S number 1. We do land all those poisons, which is nice.
I
Now we're
study
bringing
so
him
that I
down
can
to that
help
30%
others.
threshold. If you hit him when he drops below 30%, or he gets a turn, then that's when he's going to switch. If you can apply enough
Immature.
poisons that deal all of his
Why not
health when
surrender?
he gets that turn, then I think that he will die
I'll
and
start
won't
here.
cleanse out. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that
I'm a
here,
bit
so we're going to
sleepy,
do the
but I
best we
can
can.
think.
We do get to extend, and now he's so close to that
Leave it
30%.
to me.
Try not to hit him because we don't want him to switch. We want those
You may
poisons to go
try
off,
to
right?
defy me.
So now we're going to go into Sid a little bit just so
Let me
we can
show
get
you the
that last
results of my
poison.
research. Don't back down. I'll grant you the power to fight.
I'm ready.
There we go. We needed 2 more poisons. 5 poisons on him would have done it. So now he
I'm a
switches into
bit
Dingo.
sleepy,
Also,
but I
if
can
you kill
think.
Sid, he's just going to come back
I'm
to
at the
life.
studio.
So there's no point in doing that. Now, what you
Oh
would
my,
normally do or what
how
you want to
cute.
do is bring someone who can strip these debuffs off.
I sense
That
new
way you
magic
can
nearby.
kill
Please let me
the
heal you.
Dingo,
For
but we don't
information.
have that option. So I just don't have any heroes that are built that are going to be able to do that. So we have to take a
I'm
lot
ready.
of damage here until Dingo runs out of immunity
Respect
and
the
runs
great
out
land.
of the invincibility. You see that if you don't apply debuffs to Dingo,
Why
then
not
he's going to
surrender?
do those extra
Requesting
attacks,
approval.
which can be very, very
Granted.
painful. So
Removing
try and bring
restrictions.
someone who can strip if you can. Again, I don't have any heroes, So it's possible that you can do it without them, but it's going to be much more work. You see here as well, we're not doing
There's
any
no water.
damage to him. That's because he
Only
doesn't
tides
have any
define me.
debuffs. So that's very, very important that you're able to strip that immunity to be able to damage your dingo. Here's another hit, another big ad. He goes into the
Sleepy, but I
Tenebria, but
can't
that's
go to sleep
okay.
for
I don't
you.
think we need her
I
anymore
will.
as long as we can land this, and we do. Now we also see that we have an Archie here,
I
so I
study
actually
so that I
don't
can help
need to do
others.
any more fighting. Those poisons really don't matter.
Even if you're
One
scared,
Archie should be enough
never
to
give
be
up.
able to finish
I'm
him
a
out.
bit sleepy, but I can fight.
Ta-da! Here comes Arky!
And there it is, very nice. So we do it without a strip. Very, very important here, and heroes that we already have built. Abyss level 103, not nearly as hard as 102, and I'm very thankful for that. I don't think we're going to be utilizing Curious, at least for a while, so I'm going to pull her out of the Grace of Growth. Don't forget, your Grace of Growth has a 3-day cooldown, and we don't know what heroes we have built in the future. So if you're like me, if you have a new account, if you are not progressing with your hero build as fast as you would like, having that Grace of Growth, very, very important for bringing in heroes that you can then utilize maybe 1 or 2 times without spending a bunch of resources. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoy this video. Give me a like so other people just like you can find it as well. Until next time, happy hunting and good luck on your battles.